Today I will be discussing validity issues in mixed method research. So what is validity? Well, it depends on what type of research you're doing. In quantitative research, validity is typically considered to be whether or not the questions that you're using in your interviews are accurately and meaningfully measuring the intended constructs. Whereas in qualitative research, validity is looked at as an issue of whether or not the data are accurate, trustworthy, and credible. So what about mixed methods research? Well, validity within mixed method research takes into account both of these types of validity from quantitative and qualitative research, but also has some validity issues of its own that are unique to mixed methods research. To begin with, we'll talk about the historical perspectives for these research types, the philosophical foundations or worldviews like post-positivism, constructivism, and pragmatism from which these research types came. To begin with, post-positivism is the worldview or research paradigm for which quantitative research is most often associated with. Post-positivism is characterized by a deterministic or cause and effect type of thinking, a reductionist approach to research, a focus on empirical observation and measurement, and the purpose of theory verification for research. Quantitative research typically is focused on using deductive reasoning rather than inductive reasoning, and tends to emphasize internal validity rather than external validity. But they do also are concerned with external validity, construct validity, and statistical conclusion validity, to name a few. Within quantitative research, there are a large number of types of validity threats to both internal and external validity. These can come at the stages of research design, data analysis, or data interpretation. Qualitative research tends to come from the constructivism worldview. Constructivism is characterized by understanding phenomena. The purpose of research is to understand various phenomena. Being able to have multiple participant meanings within the research, social and historical constructions, and researching to generate theories. With qualitative research, inductive reasoning is used typically rather than deductive reasoning, and often the emphasis is on external validity, or otherwise known as transferability. Whereas internal validity is also considered and is known as credibility in qualitative research. In qualitative research, there are a number of types of threats to validity that exist as well. These can be to external credibility or external validity, or internal credibility or internal validity, as well as other areas like theoretical validity. And again, these can come from the stages of data analysis, data interpretation, or research design and data collection. So pragmatism is the worldview that is most often associated with mixed methods research. It's characterized by a focus on the consequences of actions. It is problem-centered, pluralistic, and real-world practice-oriented. So what that means for mixed methods research is that it's going to pull aspects of both qualitative and quantitative research. So in mixed methods research, both deductive and inductive reasoning practices are used. And the emphasis is on both internal and external validity. But then also there's a set of validity or legitimation concerns that are unique to mixed method research because of the process of the mixing of the methods. So in mixed methods research, there are a number of types of legitimation concerns. For example, sample integration is the extent to which the relationship between qualitative and quantitative sampling designs yields quality meta inferences. With inside-outside legitimation, the extent to which the researcher accurately presents and appropriately utilizes the insider's view and the observer's views for purposes such as description and explanation is of concern. For weakness minimization, the extent to which the weaknesses from one approach are compensated for by the strengths of the other approach are of concern. In sequential legitimation, the extent to which one has minimized the potential problem wherein the meta-inferences could be affected by reversing the sequence of the quantitative and qualitative phases is of concern. With conversion legitimation, the extent to which the quantizing or qualitizing yields quality meta-inferences is looked at. With paradigmatic mixing, the extent to which the researcher's epistemological, ontological, axiological, or methodological and rhetorical beliefs that underlie the quantitative and qualitative approaches are successfully combined or blended into a usable package is looked at. The commensurability is the extent to which the meta-inferences made reflect a mixed worldview based on the cognitive processes of Gestalt switching and integration. Multiple validities legitimation is concerned with the extent to which addressing legitimation of the qualitative and quantitative components of the study result from the use of qualitative or quantitative or mixed validity types, yielding high-quality meta-inferences. And then lastly, political legitimation is the extent to which the consumers of mixed methods research value the meta-inferences stemming from both the quantitative and qualitative components of the study. There are a number of types of mixed methods research designs, and within each design, when and where the methods are mixed varies. So we have concurrent, sequential, conversion, embedded, multi-phase, fully mixed, and parallel research designs within mixed methods. So there are a number of potential validity threats when you are merging your data within a mixed methods research design. These threats can occur at the data collection, data analysis, or data interpretation issues, just like with quantitative and qualitative research validity threats. The threats that can occur when merging data can happen with concurrent, embedded, transformative, multi-phase, or fully mixed designs in mixed method research. So some examples of data collection issues that could be threats to validity in mixed method research include selecting inappropriate individuals for the qualitative or quantitative portions of data collection, or obtaining unequal sample sizes for the qualitative or quantitative data collection. So an example of how to address these threats would be for the obtaining of unequal sample sizes. You could use a large qualitative sample or a small quantitative sample so that the same number of cases can be selected. With data analysis, issues that can occur with merging data include things like using inadequate approaches to converge the data, making illogical comparisons of the two results of the analysis, utilizing inadequate data transformation approaches, or using inappropriate statistics to analyze the quantized qualitative results. So one example of how to address these issues, for making illogical comparisons, you could find quotes that match the statistical results to use. And then data interpretation issues that can occur when merging the data in mixed method research projects include not resolving divergent findings, not discussing the mixed method research questions, giving more weight to one form of data or the other, not interpreting the mixed methods results in light of the advocacy or social science lens, not relating the stages or projects in a multi-phase study to each other, or irreconcilable differences among different researchers on a team. So one issue with giving more weight to one form of the data or the other could be addressed by using procedures that present both sets of results in an equal way, like a joint display, or providing rationale for why one form of data provided a better understanding of the problem. There are also validity threats that occur when connecting the data rather than merging it in mixed method research designs. So validity threats that can stem from data analysis issues when connecting data include things like choosing weak quantitative results to follow up on qualitatively, or choosing weak qualitative results to follow up on quantitatively, and also including qualitative data in an intervention trial without clear intent for its use. So one example of how to address one of these issues would be for the inclusion of qualitative data in an intervention trial. You could specify how each form of the qualitative data will be used in the study. When connecting data, potential threats to validity that can occur during the interpretation process include things like comparing the two data sets when they're intended to build rather than merge, interpreting the two databases in reverse sequence, or not interpreting the mixed methods results in light of the advocacy or social science lens. So one of the things that we could do to address the problem of interpreting the two databases in reverse sequence is to order the interpretation to fit the design, such as quantitative rather than qualitative, or vice versa. In conclusion, validity is a concern in all types of research, whether quantitative, qualitative, or mixed methods. But within mixed methods research, there are a number of validity concerns in addition to those encountered in quantitative and qualitative research that need to be taken into consideration.